If you know what's truly happening behind the scenes, you will not mistake your lack of motivation as laziness or failure, because the issue isn't a lack of discipline. You're actually in a phase known as the spiritual void. This void is that stagnant, deeply frustrating point in your life where it feels like everything has come to a standstill. You feel a total lack of interest, motivation, and drive. You're not receiving any guidance from the higher self. Everything you do doesn't seem to work. But this state isn't a dead end. It's not a punishment. It's actually a sacred pause from the universe designed to get you to let go of your old egoic ways of doing things and to connect deeper with your spiritual side. What you may not realize is that all the suffering you experience is not caused by the emptiness of the void. It's actually caused by the mind. You see, our mind is addicted to outcomes. It wants that dopamine hit. But during the void, when you keep trying to do things and you don't get any result, your egoic mind gets demoralized easily and it quits. It feels useless to keep trying because you're not getting the result and outcome you desire anyway. So why bother? But here's the thing. It's the mind that perceives that taking action is useless and gives up, but it also is the mind that judges your lack of action as laziness. In other words, you can't please the mind either way. Do and you get them, don't do and you still get them. There's no pleasing the mind. If you can just sit in the void and embrace the nothingness of the void, you will naturally calm your restless mind down and there will be no suffering at all. But when you're constantly thinking of achieving a future outcome and wondering why you don't feel motivated to do anything to get there, then you'll suffer because it's taking you away from the here and now, the present moment. Your mind is too much in the future. Most people make one of the following two mistakes, doing and being. The first group thinks that doing is better. The more action I take, the more result I get, the better it is. They like to hustle. But imagine you have a car, it moves fast, you can go to a lot of different direction, right? But what if all these places are not what you truly desire to go in the first place? You go here and you feel kind of meh. You go there and you feel kind of meh. You took a lot of action, but nothing really is satisfying to you. This is what I call soulless goals. Once I was talking to an undergrad, he just wanted to make money fast. No interest, no passion. His goal is just to make $1 million as fast as possible. And then what happened when you get all the money? He doesn't know, he has no idea. There is no soul behind his goal. He was just doing what he was taught was good for him. Our mind is like this car. When it gets restless, we take a lot of action in several directions. But have we asked ourselves if that is where we want to go in the first place? In the end, we work so hard, but we still feel rather unfulfilled. That's because we're taking action that are not in alignment with our soul. We're missing the being part. When you are in a void, your so-called laziness is actually profound wisdom. Your soul is refusing to take action that is not in alignment. Your soul knows that it will be unfulfilling even when you reach the destination. When your old egoic motivation dies and the new purpose haven't been born yet, not moving is actually quite a good move. Moving only when you have clarity and inspiration prevents burnout and ensure your actions are aligned. You're not taking action just for the sake of taking action. Especially now in the AI era, there's a lot of pressure or expectation that we have to do much more, right? But if we force ourselves to take action without the right intention, without the right alignment, we can get burned out very easily. Then you have the other side, the spiritual community that misunderstands being and think that it means to do nothing. I'm not going to work. I'm just going to lay on the beach all day, meditate all day. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to be, and the universe will bring everything for me. But have you asked yourself this question? Is that what your soul truly desires? Would you really feel fulfilled being inactive forever? Some people, the answer might be yes. But if you're watching this video, I'm guessing the answer is probably no. For me, I don't know about you, but my answer is also no. My soul came here to experience, to create. I love working on my creative projects and creating content like this. It's very fun to me. But I get a draw of being on the beach, being in nature. It really helps you to connect with the deepest part of your soul. But being doesn't mean not doing anything. They're not mutually exclusive. You can have both dimensions in your life. That's what makes you both a human and a being. You don't want to reach a state where you become apathetic about life. Not only do you kill your egoic desire, you kill off your soul desires too. If that's the case, then there won't be anything to look forward to. When you receive inspiration, you want to ride the momentum as much as possible and take action. So here's what we have learned. Egoic doing leads to burnout, and passive being leads to apathy. They are the two sides of the same unbalanced coin. Why is this so? Because the real path isn't a choice between them. The truth path is the dance between them. The dance between them. Doing and being represent the two core energies of the soul. They represent the masculine energy and the feminine energy. The feminine energy is where you rest, connect, and receive inspiration. It's the why. The masculine energy is where you take that inspiration and act on it, bringing it to the physical form. You need both to have a fulfilling life, but it doesn't have to be 50-50. It's like an airplane balancing its wings. It's not 50-50 all the time. It's a constant counterbalance, but you need both to fly. Being helps with the doing, and doing helps with the being. When you allow yourself to be, you will receive inspiration that you get to act. And when you act, there will be a time when the momentum will ease, and so you have to take a break and just be. You get stuck in the void for a long time when the two energy are not flowing with each other. When you are empty in stillness, the feminine inspiration will naturally come in to fill out that space. But if you're not open to receiving inspiration, you will not hear the guidance. On the other hand, when you don't take this inspiration and manifest into the physical world, you're blocking your natural masculine energy to act. You're resisting your soul's calling. You see, the problem isn't with doing. There's actually nothing wrong with taking action or not taking action. It's the quality of your doing that matters. Are you doing egoic doing, which you are forcing action, or you're attached to the outcome, or is it a soul-led doing, which is more about being, which is more about acting for inspiration? Nature is always doing something. The sun rises and falls, the clouds move, the bees pollinate, but they aren't attached to the outcome. They're just fulfilling their purpose. They're always in flow. Humans find it more challenging to be in flow because we have our egoic mind. Spiritual people are often afraid of doing because it triggers the egoic doer. We get burned by the hustle culture from doing too much and burning ourselves out previously. We felt trapped in the 3D matrix system. So we would rather be and not do anything. And I get this. As a collective, we still haven't mastered how to really tap into the masculine energy without getting derailed by our ego. When we start doing stuff, we get sucked back into the ego's narrative pretty quickly. They keep telling us that we need to do more or get our goals more quickly. And then we get impatient and anxious when we don't see the result of our action. The inspired action that we're supposed to take can be quickly turned into egoic doing if we are not mindful enough. I feel this all the time. I get an inspired idea for a video, but as soon as I start looking at the numbers, the views, the subscriber, my ego will jump in. I will get into my analytical mind, like how can I get more views? Why isn't this working? I need to try this, I need to try that. Whenever my ego gets triggered, I need to pull myself back a little and come back to this feminine being energy. When I don't, I realize I'll get sucked into the ego's narrative. I'll overanalyze, my body tightens, it kind of like sucks the life out of me. I feel my chest feeling very tight. I feel very constricted. Of course, I want my video to get better and more people to watch my stuff, right? But I need to be careful not to be too overly attached to the outcome. Otherwise, I'll fall into the ego's trap. I need to constantly remind myself to relax and let go of control and surrender. It's a co-creation, right? I did my part of the equation. How successful it is actually none of my business. It's the universe's job now. Even though we may not have fully understood how to use our masculine energy, we still need to work with it. We still need the inner leader, the action taker. It's the force of the bean sprout used to break off from the ground. It's the power that butterflies have to break out their cocoon. It's the focused action that manifests the ideas. We need the assertiveness, we need the force, we need the power. We just have to purify it from the ego's fear and scarcity mindset. Especially if you're someone who is more dominant in the masculine energy, you will feel super restless when you have no purpose, just sitting around doing nothing. Taking inspired creative ideas from the feminine and manifesting it in the physical world is actually very rewarding for the masculine. So don't resist taking action. Now, when you are in the void, there are two paths you can take. The first path is you can choose to do nothing. Your ego will scream at you, telling you that you're lazy, you're a failure, you lack of discipline. If you choose this path, your lesson is learn to sit with that doer and not be moved by it. You must learn to calm the doer down and not listen to all the criticism that or judgment it throws at you. The second path is you can choose to do something and just test it out. You act out on an idea, and because you're in the void, you get no result, right? Your ego will get disheartened and feel unmotivated. And if you choose this path, your lesson is to act without needing the outcome, without needing to control every aspect of your work. And no matter what path you choose, it has the same lesson. You need to learn how to deal with the ego. The spiritual void is a divine pause, forcing you to confront your ego's attachment to the outcome and your perspective towards taking action. The problem has nothing to do with taking action or not. It's asking you the question, will you do something just for the joy of creating? Even if you don't get any outcome that you desire, will you still continue to do it? And for me, my answer is yes. Despite getting 20 plus views from my videos lately, I'm still creating because my soul likes to create, and that's why I'm creating more. So then the question will not be, how do I get motivated to do more things? The real question becomes, how can I be what I do? Watch this next video where I share how I play with my masculine and feminine energy when it comes to both.